procrastinating on doing a little bit of work. So I decided to jump on YouTube and go live for a few minutes. But I wanted to know and talk about whether or not ghosting is still a thing. Like, are people still out here ghosting after a bad date, or something happens in a relationship or a dating scenario, or if it's somebody you're not vibing with, do y'all still just ghost that person? And I asked because I was just so confused, right? So I have a video post coming out tomorrow morning about what happens after you have a bad date. And I had a bad date recently, and I'm trying to figure out, because the date went okay, but it was the aftermath. Like, I did not have a good time, but the chemistry just wasn't there. So I still corresponded, but I was using those days to kind of decompress and assess the situation. And I guess I was not being as quick as he liked. He was in the fast lane, y'all, and I was just merging to get on the highway. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he was already there. Like, he had already, in his mind, he had planned the rest of our lives together. And I was just trying to get to know the person. And I think and I ended up saying that to him after the date, like, "Hey, I just want to, take it slow and get to know you." And y'all, for real, I think he was just trying to smash. Like, he expected something that wasn't even ever on the table. Cause sir, you are a stranger. Stranger danger, right? But how do y'all feel? Have you been ghosted before? Is it something that you do to people? Like, I'm just confused. As whole adults, do we ghost people? So I wasn't sure. So I like clarity. Okay. So I just went along and sent a text message and was like, "Hey, I haven't heard from you. I just wanted to let you know I had a great time on the date. You're a wonderful person. I just don't think you're my person." I kept it very respectful, very polite, very concise, because I didn't want him to feel like I was ungrateful, because I was very grateful. And like I said, I did have a good time. He just was not my person. And I think it was one sided. Like I said, I think he had in his mind, I think, y'all, for real, he had my wedding dress picked out. He had the house we were gonna live in. And I knew very little about this man. Like, it was just totally on his side. And I was floored, like, for real, like, this what we doing? I thought dating, the whole point of dating was to get to know somebody. And he was, I guess, I mean, that is flattering. From what he did know or what he did see, he was ready to jump in it for the long haul. But sir, no, we need some seasons together, so I know exactly who you are. Because that's what we're not going to do. We're not going to jump into anything immediately, especially, I feel like he has kids. Hey, how are you? He has children. I have kids. And I think that if you are not aligned in that capacity, then it's not going to work. It's not going to work out, because you have to really consider how your families are going to mesh. And if you still have children underage, his kids are a lot younger than mine. So I was like, this is, you're moving way too fast, sir. Way too fast. So he did kind of ghost me in a way. And I was just like, let me call. And well, I didn't call, but I was like, let me just find out and send a message and see, "Hi Jacob," and see if he was like really ghosting. Because who does that or is that what we're doing at this age? But he apologized. He was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I did not get back to you. And he was like, oh, I was busy with work or whatever the excuses were. And we agreed, or rather, he just agreed with what I said because I was like, I think you're a wonderful person, but you're not my person. And he was like, oh, I wish you well, which is fine. And I always believe in just giving people clarity. I'm not one to just sit back and be like, oh, well, I want to let you know that this either was not going to be moving forward, or even if I did have a great time, because he did ask for hi quantum vibes, how are you? He did ask for a second date, right? And I said, let me check my schedule, which is true because I had to, my daughter had a lot of activities for the weekend, right? So I was like, well, let me check my schedule and get back to you, right? He did not like that. He expected me to just roll over and jump out and say, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. Which for him, okay, that's in his mind, in his way of thinking. But again, sir, we are still strangers. This is a first date. And I think because I have a busy schedule and because my kid has activities and all kinds of things I have prior going on, business meetings, the fact that he kind of got upset that I said I had to check my schedule, I was like, you are lame. And then that next day, so the ball was in my court, right? I was the one that's supposed to get back to him, which I had planned to do because sometimes on the first day, I realize people can be nervous, or, if you're an introvert, it takes you a while to warm up with somebody. So I didn't want to just write him off. I just, was like, well, maybe he is nervous, or maybe he's just nervous to the point of he's just moving super fast. I don't know, but we'll just see. But he had already sent me, y'all, the next day, he sent me a text message with the next 2 dates already planned out, day and time. And I was like, I can't even make it on that day. Like, I'm not even available that day. Like, sir, I understand your excitement. I appreciate your excitement, but you're not even giving me a chance to even assess how the first date went. Y'all, I didn't get a chance to call my girlfriend yet. Like, I didn't get a chance to spill the tea. I ain't come on live yet, talk to y'all to let y'all know how it went. Nothing like that. And he had already gone and forged ahead. So I was like, okay, if this is his MO, this is not going to work for me. So, yeah, so that's done. Needless to say, that is done. But I did have a good time. I appreciated the fact that we went out and we did have a good time because, and this is another reason I got talked into going to dinner and I caved. And this is why I never do dinner on a first date, because when you do dinner on a first date, you essentially are going to be held hostage for 1 to 2 hours. There's just no getting around it. And it just so happened that I swear that restaurant seemed like it was so slow. It was dragging and dragging on. But when you go on a first date, I like to go to coffee. 30 minutes. That way, if you plan a coffee date, if it's somebody that you are vibing with and y'all are having a great conversation, you can extend it to more time. You can, say, oh, you know what, I have another 30 minutes. Let's sit and hang. Or you can order a pastry or something like that. It's coffee. It's easy, right? If it's going terribly, it's only 30 minutes. You can get out of there. Thank you for coffee. I enjoyed meeting you. It's a good time to assess whether or not you want to know more about that person. Because y'all know, when you meet, men and women, when you meet somebody, in your mind if this is somebody that you want to continue to get to know. At least I do. If I meet somebody, like, oh, okay, let me talk and let me know, let me learn more. And then sometimes you're like, nah, that's not somebody I would ever deal with or date, right? So coffee is a good way to just weed out what you like, what you don't like, whether you think you should do something more. And if you are vibing with that person, then that gives you a chance to plan a second date, and you can do a lunch or a dinner, then something longer. But y'all, being trapped for dinner that first time, like I said, it wasn't bad, but it was just like I knew he was not my person. Like I knew he was not my person from during that date. And I feel like had it been a coffee date, 15 minutes in just from us talking, I would have known like, okay, yeah, he's not my person. So instead, 15 minutes into dinner, I knew, no, he's not my person, but I have to sit here because it's dinner. But however, I just wanted to know, what do y'all think about ghosting? Have you ghosted a person before? Do you do the ghosting yourself? Do you just leave a person on red if they try to reach out to you? Or do you just, if you're not feeling somebody and you go on a date, do you just disappear and never talk to that person again? Or do you actually take a moment to tell that person, hey, you're a good person, you're just not my person? Because I like to notify, like, I always laugh, my girlfriend laughs because I always say, like, I do an exit interview, like, hey, and it's just that, like, you're a great person, you're just not my person. Because I never want somebody to just be left wondering or feel bad or, think badly of me or that I was rude or something like that. And I know sometimes it can't be helped, but if it is a decent person, I believe in just letting them know, like, um, like, hey, I'm sorry, this is just not going to work for me. I believe in complimenting, giving some type of positive alongside the, no, this is not going to work for me, but I think you're a great guy. But what are y'all, what are y'all doing? I'm just so I'm so confused because I do believe, had I not reached out to him, I believe he was for real going to just go ghost. I mean, which is fine, and that's his prerogative, but we're all grown-ups. Like, yeah. And then he had done some things during the date that were not cool. And I just, furthermore, was like, no, this is not for me. And again, he may meet his person, and that woman may, they may gel and mesh together. And I wish that for him. I'm never malicious in intent. I hope he does find somebody, and the same for me. That's the whole thing of dating, right? You're meeting people and you are hoping and praying and wishing to find that one person that you connect most with on this planet. And if you can do that and spend time with that person and enjoy life, because y'all, life is so incredibly short. I have gotten to the point where I think when I was younger, I would probably endure a little more of something that I would settle for or something that I may not like fully. But now, being older and wiser, no, because I'm not in my 20s anymore. So now I'm able to just cut it off at the pass because people are, passing away, and life is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. So I have made a vow to myself, especially after my birthday. This month was my birthday. I had a birthday. And after that birthday, I made a vow from going here forward that I would not settle. I would not do things that do not make me happy. And that is one of the bigger keys in life, because I don't want to do something just because, or, oh, I guess, or be coaxed into doing something. No, if I don't want to do it, nope, we ain't doing it. If I go out with you and I know that you aren't my person, then nope, I'm not going to keep trying to go on 3, 4 dates, just trying to hope maybe. No, we're going to cut it off right then and there and be done with it. So, yeah, but I have been having fun. And I think that's what dating has to be. I try to retrain my brain to think differently about dating and think more positively, because before I would just be like, oh man, I do not want to go on this date like, oh, it's somebody, somebody new. I just wanted, somebody to know how I like to order a hamburger. I want somebody to already know I don't like tomatoes on my hamburgers. But the only way that that's going to happen is if you date someone and they get to know you and you get to know them. So that's where I am. So I have retrained my brain. I am enjoying the dating process now and just using it as a chance to get to know somebody new and find out new things about that person and possibly be introduced to something that I may not know, or they may have a hobby that's interesting to them, because I do enjoy listening to people talk passionately about something that they care about, that really makes their world go round, because I find that's when people are most authentic, when you get them to talk about something they're passionate about. So I'm really learning to just enjoy the nuances of people and just getting to know people and meet new people. So that part has been fun. But yeah, y'all, if y'all are out there ghosting, stop ghosting people. Give them the courtesy of telling them you are not interested. Thank you, but no thank you, and move on. So, like I said, tomorrow's video is about that, the aftermath of a bad date. So if you want to check back tomorrow, a video will be posted first thing in the morning. And I try to post every Sunday for my Dear Future Husband series. So thank y'all for watching, for liking, for subscribing. That has been really fun to engage with the YouTube community, because y'all be having some good comments and suggestions and funny things to say. So I appreciate that. So thank you for following along in that, right? So yeah, today I am just, like I said, I was procrastinating just a little bit, but I am going to go and do a little bit of work, just a little bit, an hour of work, and then I'm gonna go and hit the streets and do some errands and some things that I have to catch up on. But I wanted to stop by and say hello to the YouTube community. And yeah, and to tell y'all, stop ghosting. Stop it. Like, don't do it. Give that person a little brief text. Thank you, but no thank you. Go on. I wish you find, the love of your life one day, or however you want to say it. But stop ghosting. Let's all be grown-ups and be mature and, you know, not be mean. Don't be mean. All right. So enjoy your day. But whatever you do, please don't forget to let the day enjoy you on purpose. I will see you next time. Thank you.